Hello, my name is David Matza, and I am part of the PADM 518 group on public-private partnerships and their positive impact on underserved communities in the Inland Empire. And I'll pass it over to my team to introduce themselves. To our team. Yeah.
Hi
Hi,
everyone. I'm Gianne Gonzalez.
Hi, I'm Christopher Gutierrez.
hi everyone. I'm Shayla Mendoza.
Great. And so now we will start our presentation with a brief introduction on the project and what we're talking about.
The California Department of Transportation manages 5,000 miles of California's highway and freeway lanes, which provides connections to various intercity rail services. To improve traveling between the Inland Empire, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles, Caltrans has established a public-private partnership with Brightline West, a high-speed passenger rail system based out of Miami, Florida. Caltrans and Brightline West are in the process of connecting Los Angeles County to Las Vegas with a fully electric, zero-emission, and high-speed rail system that will reach up to 200 miles per hour. The benefits of the partnership include the potential of 400,000 tons of carbon monoxide being removed annually due to reduction of 3 million vehicles on the road. In addition, the public-private partnership would generate about 40,000 jobs for residents to create billions of dollars in economic activity. Through these combined benefits, this project will vastly improve the lives of residents living in the Inland Empire while providing additional travel choices to all Southern California. The Inland Empire's partnership between Brightline West and Caltrans aims to address the transportation, environmental, and economic issues that exist in the Inland Empire by providing efficient transportation while reducing greenhouse gas emissions and creating job opportunities in the community.
In both Riverside and San Bernardino counties, which covers the Inland Empire, one of the main existing issues is traffic congestion. These areas are one of the highest commuting rates in the nation due to the growing number of workers who travel by car to neighboring counties. Data has shown that there has been 500% increase in the amount of time spent stuck in traffic from 9 hours in 1982 to 57 hours per year on average in 2002. As you can see on the graph, it shows the commute times in San Bernardino County, which averages 31.9 minutes, and Riverside County, which averaged 35.7 minutes, both of which are higher than the state and national average. Another problem is that these traffic delays have an additional cost of $854 per year and 16 gallons of wasted fuel per individual. These numbers should be of a concern because traffic congestion takes away the commuter's time and money and imposes increased costs on businesses, shippers, and manufacturers, which are often passed along to the consumers. Traffic congestion leads to another problem of poor air quality in the surrounding area. Between 2006 and 2016, the Inland Empire had 1,392 delays that surpassed the 2015 federal ozone standards for air pollution. This means that 1/3 of the year, the Inland Empire experienced ozone levels that negatively impacted a person's health. This results in a negative health and environmental impacts. For instance, research has shown that traffic congestion increases vehicle emissions, degrades ambient air quality. Additionally, findings also show that it results to excess morbidity and mortality for drivers, commuters, and individuals living near in major roadways. Study shows that health risks from traffic conditions are potentially significant, and additional traffic can significantly increase risk depending on road and other factors. Next slide. Another key issue that the Inland Empire is facing is the economy. Inland Empire's economy, like many regions in the United States, have been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 lockdown forced many businesses to limit or close their operation, which has resulted in unemployment rates to increase in the region. Data has shown that there was a negative 0.2 drop in the first quarter in business activity for Inland Empire. These findings are concerning because the impacts of COVID-19 has negatively affected the years-long of economic growth that the Inland Empire was facing. Even so, in the second quarter of 2020, with a negative 26.5 decrease, reporting the possible worst of the COVID-19 recession. Another issue was that unemployment rates increased by 5.9%, with 55,600 job loss between December 2019 and December 2020. I will be playing this video regarding the mixed impact of COVID-19 that has on the Inland Empire's unemployment rates.
This thriving economy has come to a screeching halt, and we have been watching unemployment numbers continue to tick up throughout the last few weeks. And Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan joins us live with more on some hard-hit communities, but also some jobs that are still in high demand. Rob?
Well, according to the new study, or to a new study, part of the problem here in the Inland Empire is there just aren't as many salaried positions, nor as many positions available for people who cannot work at home. Perhaps nothing signifies a sluggish or stopped economy better than a picture of an empty parking lot. Malls like the Montclair Plaza are dead right now. This one only busy because of a drive-through coronavirus testing operation. Everywhere else you look, stores are closed. And a new study by Economic Roundtable puts some numbers to these pictures, and two key factors put people in the Inland Empire at higher risk for losing their jobs. Just look at these numbers in LA and Orange County, where people are more likely to be able to either work from home or have salaried jobs in the first place. By comparison, the numbers in the Inland Empire are lower, although the news here isn't all bad. I spoke remotely with Inland Empire economist John Husing, who said some job sectors are thriving.
The most essential business almost right now is e-commerce. And almost all the e-commerce facilities in Southern California are located in the Inland Empire. Amazon alone has 14.
And that's having an impact at local airports.
On the passenger side, Ontario, of course, has crashed. But on the goods movement side, it's blowing off the chart.
Another thriving industry, for obvious reasons, healthcare.
They're really pulling back in retired nurses, retired docs and stuff. So that sector is being relatively robust. People who work in e-commerce, healthcare, those sorts of firms have pent up demand and they've got the cash. So once this releases, they're going to have the money to go out and go to a restaurant, go to takeout, go to get their hair done, go to the gym, and all the rest of that.
And while there might not be a lot of good news when it comes to those two factors of people who have salaried positions and people who can work from home, one place or another place here in the Inland Empire where people are thriving, and that is essential jobs. 19% of the jobs, at least in San Bernardino County, are deemed essential, compared with, say, Orange County, where only 13% are deemed essential.
So as stated in the video, workers in the Inland Empire are at a higher risk of losing their jobs due to the coronavirus pandemic. Additionally, 26.8% of households with two parents where only one works are headed by someone who is employed in either construction or manufacturing, which is about 9.8% higher than all households in the region. As most jobs in these industries are impossible to perform from home, this puts workers at a risk of getting furloughed or laid off. Therefore, the issues presented demonstrate the need for stronger infrastructure in the Inland Empire by improving traffic congestion, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and creating new job opportunities.
So as my teammate mentioned, jobs are obviously a big deal in the Inland Empire, and the COVID-19 pandemic obviously made that worse. In addition to jobs, there is the issue of pollution, minimal travel choices, and long commutes. Dr. Housing Bubble, a blog that talks about housing, commuting, those types of things, saw that those in the Inland Empire are traveling more so than other places such as Los Angeles, Orange, and so again, into San Diego as well. And so people aren't working in both Riverside and San Bernardino counties, which make up the Inland Empire. So again, there are many health issues to these 4 issues facing the region, and especially the long commutes. Cedars-Sinai, one of the premier hospitals in Los Angeles and the entire country, have identified that sitting down for long amounts of time is obviously bad for your health, in addition to the mental stress when you're losing 2 to 3 hours a day just being in your car rather than doing things either for your job or with your family. And so it's definitely something that needs to be addressed. And as mentioned, pollution, big deal, a lot of cars. And so obviously this is having an impact on climate change, making the issue worse in the region. And the last thing, kind of a negative impact that's a big deal, is attracting young professionals to the area. As my colleague mentioned with the video and the last time, there are a lot of industrial jobs, but and kind of warehouse logistics type of work. Those aren't high paying jobs. And so to address that, to be able to attract those, not just individuals, but the companies as well, you need to address these types of issue. And as we've discussed in this class and other classes in this program, everything that should be done by public administrators should be done so with a moral foundation. And to not address these problems would be a moral failing on our part for the public administrators in the Inland Empire. And so to address that, there are baselines to follow, like the APU 4 cornerstones, the ASPA Code of Ethics, which essentially address kind of what a public administrator should be focused on when it comes to APU 4 cornerstones: community, working with your neighbor to solve problems, and that's what this is. And so, and again, the ASPA Code of Ethics really focuses on social equity, and as we mentioned, the Inland Empire is unusually impacted by these types of issues, and so to address this would be a failure in addressing equity. So these issues are not on the radar, and so Caltrans, which is the Department of Transportation, which handles the entire state transportation network within the state of California, and Caltrans District 8, which is the regional branch essentially of Caltrans in the Inland Empire, Riverside, and Seminole counties, and Brightline, which, as my colleague mentioned, they are based out of Miami. They focus on developing high-speed rail from one point to another. And so both this governmental entity and this private company have made some of their top priorities: reducing greenhouse gas emissions, improving traffic congestion, expanding travel choices, and reducing commutes and improving health. And so the Inland Empire region is primed for a public-private partnership between these two entities. And so a joint partnership has been formed, a public-private partnership, a project to create a high-speed passenger rail train between Las Vegas to Apple Valley to eventually Los Angeles, with Brightline West leading the project and Caltrans providing the oversight, since this project is on the state highway system. Challenges to a successful partnership need to be addressed. One main one that's addressed by the World Bank, which studies public-private partnerships very thoroughly, is that the private sector moves very fast, and sometimes that's not a good thing. And so the governmental entity in a public-private partnership needs to ensure that things are being done by the book and at a proper pace. Although one of the benefits of the public-private partnership is the enhanced speed of a project. And so it's kind of a give and take there. But again, with the last bullet on here, coordination is key. So just having these discussions, having regular meetings, planning the project together can help alleviate some of that.
So as a team, we recommend to address the problems affecting the residents of the Inland Empire. The recommendation is to establish a public-private partnership between Brightline West and Caltrans. It is necessary that all stakeholders, including residents and individuals who live in the vicinity of the project area, participate in the project and play a role in deciding and implementing the various measures that will be used to address the problem in the community. Public meetings, public comment periods, and the electorate process provides individuals and/or groups the opportunity to have their voices heard. Brightline West and Caltrans will be hosting additional meetings and initiating more public comment periods for residents as the project continues to develop Engaging in public outreach is essential for the leading entities in this case, Caltrans and Brightline West, to use a value-based leadership. A major component of value-based leadership is to ensure undue burdens are not thrust upon communities, especially underserved ones such as the high desert. We would hope that we would require that the partnership to hold each other accountable throughout the project. It is also necessary that all stakeholders who may be impacted, including residents, individuals who live in the vicinity of the project area, are able to participate in the project and play a role during deciding and implementing the various measures that will be used to address the problem. The public-private partnership between Caltrans and Brightline West was established in an effort to improve the quality of life of residents of the Inland Empire region. The partnership is working on their first project with efforts to connect Apple Valley with Las Vegas, and then subsequent phases that will eventually lead to Los Angeles. The project is set to improve the reduction pace of greenhouse gas emissions resulting from the long commute hours that residents experience by creating a rail system that will remove an estimate 3 million cars from the roadway and providing travel choice to those who need to travel for work. This project will also serve as a stimulus to local economies by creating jobs and fostering economic development. By improving the environment, economy, and commute times that are currently factors in causing poor health of Inland Empire residents, local municipalities in the region can expect to benefit from the partnership between Caltrans and Brightline West. The public-private partnership demonstrates the moral and ethical responsibility from the public sector in establishing their partnership by ensuring that there are multiple benefits to the public as a result of this partnership.
Great. And that concludes our presentation. And thank you for taking the time to listen to us and learn more about the Brightline West Caltrans public-private partnership. Before you see some of our sources, a lot of good information. Again, Cedars-Sinai, Dr. Housing Bubble, various economists, governmental entities. So there was a lot of information, particularly on this topic. And so again, we thank you all for taking the time to watch us, and good luck on your presentations as well. Thank you.
Thank you.